Greetings! This is another Sprocket video where I will show you some of my more unusual designs, but unlike in the last video, here the tanks will be more on the normal side, but they all will have one funky feature to them. Our first subject is a returning guest, so say hello to the HGS 1065 once again. So, as I said, this is not the first time this vehicle was shown on this channel. This is its previous incarnation, and as you can see, the main difference is the gun mantlet, which here it looks even more goofy than on the newer version, because well, this does look stupid, I admit, but it looks a lot more like the original Scrap Mechanic version. Yes, that game again. I can never escape it. So yes, this newer version is more like the original one from a different game. So yes, its main feature is a 205mm gun, which is indeed modeled. So yes, it looks alright-ish, I guess, maybe. So yes, this thing is a bunker annihilator. It's not meant to fight against tanks, but it's really good at it just because the gun is so big. If high explosive rounds existed in this game, then this would one-shot practically any target, because of course a 205mm gun is quite large, and when it fires a high explosive shell, it's let's just say it produces a large explosion. Luckily, APHE does exist in this game, so I can still make explosions happen. And overall, I am quite happy with this design. It kinda looks like, I don't know, a mole or a rat. You know, the snout of a mole or a rat. That's what I would compare the gun mantlet to. That's quite an old comparison, but I mean, it kinda works. And overall, this thing is just a weird cardboard box on tracks with a large boomstick, and of course the reload is quick because I increased the size of the loader. I can't just sit around for 40 seconds while this thing reloads, so yes, I made a few changes, but overall this funky little, well, it's classified as a tank destroyer, but it's a bunker destroyer. It's kinda like the SU-152 or ISU-152 situation in World of Tanks. Those things are bunker destroyers like this one, but classified as tank destroyers. So yes. You know what? I was thinking. Unbelievable, right? Anyways, so I realized that just me explaining stuff and running around in tanks like a headless chicken is not that interesting. So with this next subject, the HGS 1053, I will actually play this vehicle live. So let's do it. Its nickname is Angler, because someone on a Discord server said that the gun looks like a fishing rod. Some other people also said it looks like a crane, but a fishing rod sounded a lot funnier, so I went with that instead. Also, a Texan friend of mine suggested that it should also have some fish related tickles, so I made some for myself. So yes, the interesting thing about this heavy tank is the 75mm L130 gun, which has over 270mm of penetration. It's pinpoint accurate and has practically no shell trajectory, which makes sniping really easy. I just went through the front of that. Like, can you imagine? Oops, I'm getting shot at. Alright. Something flanking? No. Great. I'm just making sure. And you can do some quick follow-up shots as well, which makes this thing a truly great sniper vehicle. But also this cage around the gun, first of all, it's meant to protect this gun itself from trees, lampposts and such. But it also blocks my sight, so yeah, it's kinda useless and it's inconvenient, but it looks nice. And also someone else from Discord suggested that since the gun is so long, I should make a supporting structure for it so it doesn't bend. So yes, that's how this thing at the top got created. Someone just suggested that. 1 minute and 17 seconds. I think that's a record time for me actually. So yes, this thing is quite incredible at sniping. It also has some decent frontal armor. It does have weak spots for the cupolas and for the lower plate, and also this turret front has some weak spots as well, like as the turret ring and these things here next to the gun. And from the sides, this thing is pretty much paper. But yeah, this thing is actually pretty damn good. So yes, this is the Angler heavy tank. You know what? I'm going to play with the last vehicle as well, which would be the AGS 104-16. Imagine I made 16 medium tanks. And this one is rather good actually. It has a quite competent 75mm gun with around 120mm of penetration. Its armor profile is quite poor. It has 35mm on the front hull and 50 on the front turret. The sides are also 35, so it won't bounce anything, but it really doesn't have to. And as you can see, the track layout is its special feature, since it's quite unusual, and I will explain how I did it after I won this battle, which will be really quick, seeing how well my bots are performing. Oops, that's the tank. That's a penetration, and a bot killed it. Oh, that's a man of war. And I got a kill. Nice. So this thing has a top speed of 40 forwards and also in reverse. So both the forward and reverse gears are the same, which allows this thing to have quite a good mobility. Now, oops, I was kinda blind. I was looking in that direction, so I didn't see what was right in front of me. That's a user error. So yes, this thing is quite mobile. As you saw, the paper armor doesn't really work. Where? Oh, that's where it was. Aha. Alright. So yes, good gun, paper armor, good mobility. As you can see, as I'm demonstrating it, the reverse speed is great. Now let's talk about the tracks, its main feature. So, how I achieved this is through a bug. So, go down here, go to the grouping menu, and group the wheels together. Doesn't really... oh, it does matter. So, group them together into pairs, basically. Set the separation distance to 0, and that's how you achieve this bug. It basically confuses the living hell out of this game, and this bug allows you to basically have a longer road wheel base, so to say, longer than the idler wheel would allow in normal situations. So yes, this is basically the bug I used to make such a cursed track layout. So yes, this 21-ton medium tank is actually quite nice. As you saw, it performs well, and it has a weird track layout. So yes, this would be the end of this video. If you liked it, hit the dislike button. If not, hit the dislike button. If you want to, you can unsubscribe. Bye.